wrist almost immediately. And that's the last action Khodos saw. But they say in sports the key is to have a short memory, and hopefully Khodos has a short memory of that unfortunate bout.
Well, they're already underway, Khodos and Dong, as Jeff Buchan said. And as we're at the beginning of this 9-leg match, let me update you on Olympic qualification, because it's already done for the men here in Kazan. France, Italy and the USA came to the competition knowing that they were qualified by team. As we begin things with a double here in this bronze medal match, Ukraine and Switzerland have joined France and Italy in the top 4 as a result of their finishing positions here. And the zonal spots go to Korea, Russia, who join the USA, who have the Pan American spot. Egypt, well, they fell away from qualification. They had a chance, but they dropped out of the top 16, so the bonus place goes to China. Now, all of that means that Sergey Bida, who's in the reserve for the Russians, and more on that in a bit, doesn't need his individual qualification spot, but because of a disappointing performance by the Hungarian team, Sergey Khodos has picked up that spot, and it's unbelievable news for a very, very talented Dutchman. Now, this Dutchman began Kazan in chaos, missed his connection coming through Moscow and arrived late. Chaos turned into Kazan calamity because he did his job. He made the top 8 in the individual tournament, but he was at threat from Siklosi and Ryslin of Ukraine. Siklosi finished second, Ryslin won the damn thing. So even finishing in the top 8, things didn't look great, and the calamity got worse as Hungary dropped out of team qualification because it meant his individual spot was at threat. But in the end, Kazan was kind to Baz Vavayan.
That was quite a journey that you just told us, and he made it.
Yeah, so Bida not requiring his individual spot, Siklosi taking one for Hungary, and Ukraine and Russia climbing into team qualification means that Baz Vavayan will be going to Tokyo. Congratulations to you. And Jeff, can I tell you a little secret?
Yeah, please.
Baz just sent me a Facebook message and said, I can't believe it. And I said, hey man, I've got a great line for you, just wait. I wonder if he stayed. He's at work, so I don't know whether he heard it.
Can't imagine for these athletes when they don't control their own destiny and they're reliant on a certain result to fall their way.
Especially as he's flown home. You know, he didn't compete in the team event, so he'd
Right.
gone home thinking it was all over. And let's just talk about China. They've done enough here to climb the rankings and pick up that bonus spot vacated by Egypt. We haven't got the same story here in the start of this men's match as we did in the women's bronze medal match. China snuck into a 2-1 lead in that medal match and then just ran away with it against Russia. Not the same story here. But Russia are depleted somewhat as we come to the end of the first leg. 4-4. So nothing between the two at the moment. Parity restored. Sergey Bida was down on the piste at the beginning of their match against Italy. And well, from the looks of things, I can't be 100% sure, but it looks like it was an injury substitution, and he didn't look that comfortable walking onto the piste for the lineup at the beginning. So he's on the bench, and I don't really think that he'll want to fence. He's got his kit on, but you know, does throw up some interesting ideas with regards to passivity and combativity. If they go through 2 red cards, P red cards, and then they have to go for a P black. The P black is actually given to the fencer, and as long as you've got a reserve, the reserve comes on. But Russia will have that in the back of their minds. They can't have passivity at all in this match.
No. So, Karim, China's here because of that miraculous last-second touch in the 16 against Hungary, basically eliminating Hungary from any chance at Tokyo, and giving themselves a chance. And then because Egypt fell out of the 16, they now get the spot for Japan. And can you imagine if they're a legitimate contender for an Olympic medal? It came down to one touch and Egypt falling out of the 16.
Absolutely. Olympic qualification has its nuances, but it also creates a great deal of emotion. Here we go, second leg, Sukhov against Lan. Nothing between the two.
Lan landed one there as Sukhov tried to attack, and he just counterattacked a little bit longer, was able to score. Sukhov trying to press the action, but Lan scores on an easy double. Referees stopping the action for some type of issue with the video.
Yeah, they need the replay system. Looks like it's all working fine now. Looks like it might be the scoring system. Actually, they are just fixing it now. Well, it does give me a chance to go on the Baz Vivine story. You were wondering why we're talking about Baz Vivine. He's qualified because of results here. Bizarrely, he's not here because he didn't compete in the team event. But I can tell you, he's working from home because he's been here and he has to quarantine for 10 days when he gets home. So he's at home working from home, pretending to work from home clearly because he's watching this, and that's how he's found out about Olympic qualification. Quarantined at COVID. Wow. COVID times are very strange, aren't they? But congratulations to him. He's worked really hard for 5 years to make qualification, and a twist of fate has allowed him to make it. When actually top 16 fencer in the world, you want to see him there.
Yeah, he came here, he did his job, as you said.
Well, we got a little delay here. The engineers are trying to do their jobs at the moment. We've got a couple more matches coming up today. The two gold medal matches are due to start at 2:30 Central European time and 4 o'clock. And they seem to be sticking to the schedule despite the competition running very smoothly today and sticking, well, going ahead of time. Well, you can see the lights are blue on the box. That is signifying a technical issue. 100% sure what the issue is. We're trying to find out. See standing out the box.
So Karen, the issue is I spoke to the supervisor, Irina Kanish, who said the problem is there's no video and they're waiting to fix that.
Looks like it's a bit of Control-Alt-Delete going on here. I remembered how much time was on the clock, because that's just been deleted. Oh, there you go, 1:46. They need the video, of course, for the appeals process, especially in a medal match, so they won't restart this fight until they got the video back up and running. Does allow us to revisit an Olympic qualification, of course. So the individuals who've qualified. So that's just a refresher of the teams: France, Italy, USA, Ukraine, Switzerland, Korea, Russia and China. And the individuals that are qualified now are Gergely Klosi of Hungary, along with Basovine of Europe, of the Netherlands I should say. And the Asian spots go to Yamada Masaru and Ruslan Kurbanov, Yamada of Japan, Kurbanov of Kazakhstan. The Pan American spot is with Ruben Lamado Gascon, and the African spot is with Morocco's Hussam El Khoud. I managed to get that out just in time. It looks like we're about to get back underway. They now need to just adjust the clock to correct time. Which they will. They've got the video working. They've now just got to get the time right. Here we go. Little technical break there for you, just to test the commentators after a year out of the commentary box.
There's a beautiful riposte by Sukhov. Sukhov looking for the blade in second. He was the entire time, and Lan was able to get around it. See, he's looking for second. And again. And Lan with a disengage.
Managed to stay away from the blade. Go for target. So he's re-established that 1-point lead. I'm guessing that the Russians are going to go after this. They don't want to see what happened to their women's team happen to the men's team. I think the Chinese are playing a similar tactic.
Nice attack by Sukhov. Instead of that time going for second, he went straight for the shoulder.
Oh, he faked?
Yes.
He faked it. He went down low as though he was looking for second, and he ended up then flashing high, pulling Lam to open that side of the target. So now Lam pressing just a little bit and allowing the distance to close up, using that pommel grip and his extra reach in close quarters. Oh, just
body
contact,
yes.
And now time has run out as well. Well, Jeff, for me, No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to ask the question. Who's going to be the happier team at this stage?
I would say certainly China's very happy there, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know what? I'm going to not disagree with you. I think China will be okay, but I think Russia will be happy with this because they've trailed in both fights, and they've managed to pull it back level before the end of the fight. I think they're cautious of China even having a 1-point lead.
And Wang there saw that coming and just made a counter, was able to hit and get away at the same time. And Wang the attack, and Glazkov's able to double. Wang likes to be the one on the pusher. He likes to be the aggressor. Once again, Wang is pushing. And that is a beauty. As Wang is pushing, trying to draw out Glazkov, Glazkov bit, and Wang went down second and scored the riposte. Watch, second, riposte. It's a nice touch.
So you'd like to call that second? I feel that maybe he starts in second, but he's binding down into 8, into octave, and then coming back up into the high line.
I think you might be right about that. Whatever it is, it's a low line.
Yeah.
But I'm partial to second because I can never do octave, the 8th parry, too well.
Well, now it's Wang pressing, but he goes past, so Glazkov is going to get that point.
Really started from out of distance, and Glazkov is able to make that riposte as Wang goes by. I said, Wang was happy with that. He goes, I just missed getting the single. He went to his coach, just missed it. Nice double by Glazkov. Wang setting up either the attack or trying to draw him out for the riposte. He had him there. He missed on the 4 riposte. It's a yellow card for Wang. I presume for core to avoid a riposte. That's the only thing it could be.
Well, Wang's going after this, but Glazkov is playing into Glazkov's hands here, I think.
So here comes Wang on the attack. Let's watch. 4. What a nice touch. Was able to pronate his wrist, as you say. And I think Wang has to be careful there because on the straight actions he hasn't been successful. second intention. What that means is that Wang came forward waiting for Sukhov to attack. He was waiting there. It looked like he picked him up in 4 on the inside line. Let's see. Yes, he did. And that's where he has been successful on the second intention attack, drawing out Glazkov. And that's it for round 3, with China taking a 12-11 lead over Russia.
Well, interesting, isn't it? Because that was the 1-point lead that China had in the women's team bronze medal match after the first leg. It's taken 3 legs for China to build the lead, and now it starts to put a little bit of pressure on the Russian team as Sergey Khodos comes back out and goes up against Lan Minghao.
And kudos to Khodos, because in the first leg against Dong, he was able to come back from that very emotionally deflating defeat that he had in the semifinals to Italy.
I'm just not going to comment on that at all.
Nice attack by Lan. Khodos a little bit unaware on that particular one. He went to the well again with the attack and was able to score in the remise.
Yeah, it's a different way, isn't it, from the Chinese women's team to build a slender lead. They're coming very much out on the attack, whereas the Chinese women sort of pulled the Russian women's team onto them and did a lot of defensive and counter-attacking work.
This is the first time any team's been able to open up a lead. It's three touches. Lan went for the counter 6 for post, didn't get it, and Khodos scores. Oh, and Khodos was waiting with a full riposte and miss, and Lan was able to sneak in the remise.
Missed the first one. That's why the remise was so important. So, do you think he's forcing Khodos out here onto the attack because he's been attacking so much?
He did, yes, he has. And Khodos is down by 3. He wants to nibble away at that deficit.
Straight away, yeah. They're not hanging about. They're not taking their time, which we've become used to with Epee, taking just a little bit more time if they fall into deficit.
I'm just going to say Lan was lucky on that one, because this time Khodos took the parry riposte and had him dead, and he just missed. Lan did nothing. He missed, and then scored on the remise. That's twice.
It's almost that he didn't expect the bind to be so easy round to the 6th line. And Lan also sort of adjusted his back shoulder, turned it sideways, and so his target disappeared as well.
Yeah. I mean, the last couple of touches, Khodos missed on a 4 riposte, he missed on a 6 bind. I mean, he's had the actions. He set up the actions beautifully, just hasn't been able to hit. Very frustrating when that happens.
Well, they're going to let time run out here at the end of the fourth. We've had 2 hits for the Russians and another 5 for China. Big turnaround.
Yeah, big turnaround. This just as easily could have been 15-15 if Khodos had hit on those 2 ripostes that he set up so beautifully.
Absolutely no sign of the Russians making a substitution. It is Nikita Glazkov back on for Russia. And Dong Chao for China. Leg number 5 here in Kazan. Bronze medal at stake.
Karim, as I mentioned earlier, Dong was involved with one of the most exciting touches of the entire tournament when he scored with 3 seconds left in overtime to beat Hungary and make it to the 8. And when I asked the coach, Hughes O'Brien, why did he wait so long? And he says, well, we have a rule that you don't go until you see the opening, and he just didn't see the opening until then.
Yeah, resulted in heartbreak for Hungary.
Glazkov got inside Dong's distance there and was able to hit on the leg. Beauty. Dong wanted none of that, took the blade with the attack. Very powerful. Let's watch. Beat, attack, boom. Tried it again. And again. And just like that, there's a 5-touch differential.
Well, Glazkov was waiting for that. Stepping in, as we see here, thinking the wrist is open. He's showing it to him, in fact. Steps back out of distance and then launches his flush attack, so closes the gap up. But potentially ominous here, Jeff, for Russia. They certainly, it looks like they feel that way.
It does feel that way, unless they can close the gap here a little bit. On the blade, once again, Dong with a beat and the attack. And from the distance that he has, he's going to score on that.
Yeah, very strong 17 beat there. 2 left-handers going up against each other here.
Another flush attack by Glazkov. That's two in a row for him, 2 of the last 3 actions. Wow.
Yeah, probably cancels out the height and reach advantage that Dong has because he is a pommeler. Again, showing that wrist. It's a lure, it's a trap. Trying to get your opponent. You get a better view of it there. You can really see the inside of the hand of Nikita Glazkov.
There's a double. So with 30 seconds left, Glazkov is just trying to shrink that deficit a little from 4. So that's 2 doubles in a row.
Well, that will do it here. Another 6 points for the Chinese team, but matched by Russia. So no net gain, no net loss. And we'll move in to the 6th leg with Pavel Sukhov coming on for Russia and Wang Zijie on for China. Interestingly, Dong comes off his second match with a 0 indicator. He hasn't built any kind of lead, and I think that's part of his job for the team, actually, to get something out of the matches. So maybe overall from the Chinese camp will be, we're not quite where we thought we would be at this point.
No.
Still leading though by 4. And Wang is being very patient. He's staying quite close distance, to be fair, but there's a bit of a lateral difference between the two on the piste. And surprisingly,
wow! What a riposte by Sukhov.
Surprisingly, it's the left-hander that's opening up his outside target area, the back effectively, you can see there. And now this, well, it's actually Sukhov that's switching sides of the piste regularly. Wang's not following him, not reacting.
Similar action, but Wang from a little closer distance was able to bust through before the parry. Oh my, Wang was just waiting for that, waiting for the parry, which he got, and didn't really do anything, and Sukhov continued with the remise.
Nice parry riposte there.
Beautiful touch by Wang.
Just step back out of the way, giving him space to make the parry and land a riposte somewhere on the head. Well, that was exceptionally close.
That was a battle. Wang there took the blade to make the attack, but Sukhov was able to parry it. Neither one scored. That time he took the blade and sword in the flesh attack. I think the key for Wang is to take the blade. He's been very successful with that.
Yeah, faking to the low line. on the final action, low, high, and then just pushing it through, as you say, binding hold of the blade. From where I'm viewing this, Jeff, Wang is the container. He's the one that's just happy to sit there, play patiently, and try and pick off the odd hit here and there.
Yeah. But not to be too patient for the last 20 seconds and give Sukhov another easy one like that.
Yeah, that was an easy one. A bit sloppy from both of them, actually, but in the end, the perseverance from Sukhov took him through to the target area.
That's not what Sukhov wanted to see, or his Russian team, with 2 seconds left to take that risk and have it go from 4 to a 5-touch deficit.
Well, they call it a day. At 22, place 27, the gap has opened up by 1 during the 6th leg. 4 points scored for the Chinese team and just 3 for Russia. So it's on come Nikita Glazkov and Lan Minghao in the crucial final 3 legs, as we get some lovely replays from our Russian colleagues here. That was the nice attack, or the easy attack I should say, from Sukhov. The time to enter the final third. So Jeff, do you think that Nikita Glazkov's going to come after this a little bit more than perhaps they have done already?
I think so. It's his last leg. 3 to go. Down by 5, and they have to take some chances here. Lan, with the longer distance, is able to take one retreat and score on that counter. This time Lan got a little antsy, made the attack. Glazkov was waiting in 4, made the parry in the riposte. And twice now we've seen Glazkov in open piste try to attack, and because Lan is able to pull distance, he causes him to fall short and score at the same time. That's twice. So Glazkov can't afford to do that again.
Jeff, you keep mentioning open piste. What do you actually mean by that?
In the middle of the piece is 14 meters long. And when you do it in the middle, like where they are right there, it gives a fencer a chance to retreat at a distance. When you do an action like that near the end of the piece, they run out of options. They can't retreat anymore. So when you're up against a bigger, taller fencer and you do it in the open piece, not in the last 2 meters, it gives them all the time in the world to retreat out of distance.
Yeah. So I'd agree with you. Let's not do that again. Still showing that hand, trying to use it as a lure, a bit of bait for Lan. Lan not playing that game. And he's just waiting for Glazkov to actually start something. As soon as he starts something, he's just going in for the double.
Yes.
He's just doubling this one out.
I think Glazkov has to figure out a way to grab the blade, because unless he pushes Lan to the very end of the piece, he's not going to be able to score a single touch too easily.
Yeah, and he's not been successful at pushing him to the end of the piece, has he? He's just not been able to get him back there.
No. Or plan B is to try to get Lan to commit, because the one time Lan did commit, Glazkov was waiting with a 4 riposte. Like that. So that tactic works for Glazkov, not for Lan, and each one is successful with something, and they should probably try to stick with it. So now Glazkov has pushed Lan to the back. And while he was planning to do whatever he was planning to do, Lan said, I'm not waiting any longer, just launched a straight flush attack.
Exactly, and that's the problem, isn't it? If he gets in that danger zone, Lan just goes for it and says, right, I'm not letting you push me back anymore. And it seems to me that Glazkov hasn't got the setup yet for that one.
Nope.
He knows what's going to happen. Get him back there, make him attack, and then react off it. Find the blade.
Great action by Lan. Glazkov got a double, which is good for him, but it really doesn't accomplish anything.
Well, there we have it. There was a bit of bite in there from Nikita Glazkov. He scored 4 hits, but again, China come away with more. Lan gets 5 as we go into the penultimate leg, and Sergey Khodos comes on for the Russians, and it's the last outing for Wang Zijie. Jeff, what can the Russians do here?
Well, I think the first thing Khodos has to do is when he makes a nice action, he has to hit when he does it. He missed on 2 glaring, wide-open opportunities after parrying. Instead of the score being 15-15 after 4 legs, it was 17-13. Well,
Lan comes away with a +4 indicator. Glazkov walks away with a -2 indicator. What can Khodos do here? He's on a negative deficit or a negative indicator as well, with Wang on a positive one. Needs to change that round really to hand over to his anchor, Sukhov.
Nice attack by Wang. Khodos says, right back at you, baby. Now, the distance is quite close. If I'm Khodos, don't you think you want a slightly longer distance with a huge reach advantage? But there, he was able to just do a straight attack to the arm.
Gonna have to have a look at this one. So this now is about whether they passed each other. Here we go. Get
This
the
was
replay.
very close.
The first one is
still alive. Still alive.
It's.
I would look from that angle that Khodos had gone past. Let's take a look.
Well, the question now is, Jeff, did Wang go past?
It's 50-50.
Referee's back. Hit stands. It was Wang who made the mistake in the end. Khodos stopped. He was about to go past. He stopped, and Wang then continued with probably with his momentum to go past, giving Khodos the opportunity for one last go.
And there was a roar of disapproval from the Chinese bench on that one.
Yeah, I think when they see it on video, they'll realise that it was the right call from referee Samet.
Boom! Wang sees an opening and just takes the blade and scores. How about that? He was setting it up by taking the blade, was Khodos, and he took the blade and hit on the leg and the thigh.
So Wang switches over and goes out on the attack.
He's just faster to the punch there. Wow, Khodos looked like he had him there, and Wang was able to step in and hit. And Khodos sort of has a bewildered look on his face. He goes, what do I have to do?
Well, with a minute and 30 plus some seconds left on the clock. It's quite possible we may actually get to the target score here of 40. These two are going at it.
Wang's able to get inside and hit again. Double. Karam, I think it's Wang's quicker footwork that's the difference in this leg.
He's picking the moment, that's for sure, but the problem here is that Khodos has had no choice but to go for it. That's better. So that time it's a little bit more of a setup, a little bit more of preparation before finishing the final action, basically confusing Wang, and then when the moment presented itself, landing the attack. But Wang is very quick to adjust, isn't he?
He really was. Last time Khodos faked and went to the leg. This time Wang was waiting at 4 and just closed him out and was able to score. Wang went for the beat attack. It's been working for him the entire leg. At that time, he didn't get the hit. Khodos was able to score.
It's strange, isn't it? Because every time it goes to the outside, Khodos almost, even though he's still surprised, just blocks, just naturally goes into the blocking position, and Wang's finishing there every now and again. He needs to come up into the high line, I think, if he's going for an attack. Oh, there you go.
And they made it to 40.
They certainly did. 8 points for the Chinese team, and they now have a 6-point lead. In fact, parity was the order of the day in the penultimate leg, because it was 8 points for Khodos as well, who finishes on a -3 indicator. Wang finishes on +2. So we come into our final leg, and the anchors are Pavel Sukhov for Russia and Dong Chao for China. So 6 points is not a complete no-no for Russia, but still a mountain to climb, right?
It's a mountain to climb, but it is a surmountable mountain.
Just got a little bit higher. Well, that's 35 seconds of the 3 final minutes gone, and no net gain from Russia.
Dong is able to double there. They're at a closer distance than I would expect, because Dong has such a huge reach advantage. Very close.
Oh, that's a great hit.
So Dong has gone now for twice. He's gone for attacks, and 2 times Sukhov's been able to score. Then Dong has to maybe set up a second intention and actually try to draw Sukhov out. Okay, it's a good double for Dong with the remise. Oh, there's a nice one by Dong. he knows that Sukhov has to press and he has to attack. So Dong was hit twice by being a little antsy and attacking from slightly out of distance and getting hit.
Well, China just won away from double bronze medals here at the Kazan Epee World Cup. That was nice from Pavel Sukhov, just leaning out of distance there from the long attack of Dong. And scoring another, so still where we were. 5-hit deficit at the moment. The door is nearly closed, with China just one away from the target score. The bronze medal here in Russia.
Does Dong try to double out at the end?
Well, in the end, it is a single light from Dong with a pair of riposte, but Sukhov just wants to get off the piste and out of there, and you can understand why. A slightly different story, Jeff, from the women's competition, where they got into a lead early on and then just pulled away. Here it was a little bit tighter.
It was very tight, and you have both teams fenced very well, but at the end of the day, China had the lead. Basically, the key for me was the fourth leg, when Lan beat Khodos 5-2, and after that they had the lead the whole way.
Well, there we have it. The bronze medals here in Kazan for both the women's team and the men's team go to China, and both teams beat Russia to get there. We have a little hiatus now, 45 minutes until the gold medal matches. I see no sign of the teams coming out early, so we will take a break in the commentary box. Join us in about 45 minutes when we'll be going for gold in Kazan.